The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Tuesday, June 15th, 2021. We are your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, the Savage One, Mr. Tony Spark. Tony, how you doing today?
Doing great. It's our Monday. We took a best of yesterday's. I was traveling back from Nebraska to go visit the Yendras and my little nephew, Anders, who today is officially his birthday. So happy birthday, Anders.
Hey, happy birthday, Anders.
The big one. But he celebrated on Saturday. So went out with the friends, got together, and this is a fun weekend, man. Real relaxing. But Colorado sports jumped off a cliff over the weekend. The Avs got they won the first two against the Vegas Golden Knights, then lost four straight, got wiped out. And then the Nuggets, geez, they didn't even show up, and they got swept out by the Phoenix Suns. So Denver's our only hope because the Rockies completely suck butt. And do have the All-Star game coming up in a few weeks here in Denver if you're really rich and you can afford a ticket.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
But, I guess the only thing to look forward to now is the Denver Broncos.
That's it.
Preseason stuff.
That's all you got, man. Yeah. Because everything else is on hiatus. And, the Rockies are just they're the Rockies, At least with them being sucky, tickets are not terrible. They're kind of bad because they're trying to make up for lost revenues. So,
but it's something to do when you need to get out and
absolutely, yes, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host Tony. I know you were married. If polygamy was a accepted thing nowadays, where you were allowed to have as many wives as you wanted, how many wives for you would be too much?
One is plenty. You tried dating a couple of different girls at the same time, getting to know them. That's hard enough, trying to juggle girls is no thanks. It's not fun.
Yeah. I agree. I think anything more than one would be just too much of a handful. Obviously,
especially if you're gonna marry one, just marry one. Don't don't be like me and my 10 wives. Like, that's ridiculous.
Well, of course, all that goes to say that a 76-year-old man believed to be the head of the world's largest family has died in India's Mizoram state. Ziona Channa, the head of a religious sect that practiced polygamy, died on Sunday, leaving behind 38 wives, 89 children, and 36 grandchildren. Yeah, that's too many.
Could you imagine the child support on that?
Right. Being that he led this sect, my guess is they probably didn't believe in child support.
Gotcha.
But the news was confirmed by Mizoram's chief minister, Zoramthanga, who offered his condolences on Twitter with a heavy heart. Channa reportedly suffered from diabetes and hypertension. Doctors told PTI news agency that Channa's condition deteriorated at home in his village, Baktwang Tlangnuma.
Good. I'm glad you're reading this, not me, man. I'm glad you're reading it.
He was admitted to the hospital on Sunday evening, where he was declared dead on arrival. It's hard to say if Channa was indeed the head of the world's largest family, since there are others who claim the title. It's also hard to estimate the exact size of Channa's family. At least one report claims that he had 39 wives, 94 children, 33 grandchildren, and one great-grandchild, which adds up to 181 people. Jeez.
Oof.
While various local news reports have referred to him as holding the world record for such a large family, it's unclear which global record it is. It has also been widely reported that the family has been featured twice on the popular TV show Ripley's Believe It or Not. But world record or not, Channa and his family are a local sensation of sorts, attracting tourists to their village in India's northeast. I don't know, does it get to that point where, like with kids, 3 is a lot to handle, but once you get 4, 5, 6, they start taking care of themselves? Does it work that way with wives and children and grandchildren as well?
I would imagine so, but that's an awful lot, man.
It really is.
It's way too much. You sometimes, like you just said it, families that have like 2 to 3, sometimes that gets to be a lot. To me, the perfect size family is 1 wife, 2 kids. Like, that's perfect. And you can add maybe 2 dogs to that mix if you want a little extreme there. But that would be my ideal, like, just perfect family size, Like, if you had 3 kids, that'd be cool too. That'd be like the max though for me. I couldn't do more than 3. Like 3 kids, 2 dogs, a wife.
So needless to say,
we won't lot of jobs to cover all that.
We won't see Tony Spark in the Guinness Book of World Record with the world's largest family.
Nope. That's 1,000% guarantee that will not happen. Like, there's no chance in that happening.
All right.
The Rockies have a better chance to win the World Series than that happening.
Well, folks, it is Tuesday, and we've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
This is Taco Tuesday.
It is Taco Tuesday, and as we do on Tuesdays, we've got Animal Tales, sponsored by roughriders.org. We have a segment called Up, Up, Down, Down, Cheat Codes for Life. And, of course, we round out the day with This Day in History. Folks, do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Behold, my precious. Ooh, let me tell you something right here. It's the Loot Crate subscription box, full of exclusive loot, fun surprises delivered to your door every month.
Just pick up your favorite geeky genre, Daddy.
From the original Loot Crate, the Loot Crate DX collectible boxes, dude. Cowabunga!
To the Loot Gaming video game box.
Woohoo! Yee-hoo! Wowzers! With crits starting as low as $11.99 per month, there's a box just about for all collectors.
To get your geek on, head over to phoenixmedia.us/Loot Crate and claim your exclusive offer. That's FENIX media.us/Loot Crate. Great Scott!
Snap into a Loot Crate, dig it?
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show, and we've got a thing we talk about each show. It is our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys, the listeners and watchers, an opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. It is the Fenix Line. You know, maybe you have 93 children and 38 wives and 47 grandchildren. I forget what the numbers were, but give us a call. Let us know at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, being that it's Tuesday, and as we like to do on Tuesdays, we like to explore Animal Tales, sponsored by roughriders.org. Now, Rough Riders is a local 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to the transport of dogs from the rural outlying shelters where they may not have a chance, bringing them here to the more metro area where they work with local shelters and rescues to find them homes, give them a second chance at life. If you want more information or you would like to donate, head over to roughriders.org. That's RUFFriders.org, or on Facebook at facebook.com/roughriderssaves. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into Animal Tales.
Dogs and the cats, they take up the middle where the honeybee hums and the cricket fiddles, the donkey prays and the pony neighs, the old gray badger sighs.
Listen to the bass, it's a one on the bottom where the bullfrog croaks and the hippopotamus moans and groans with the big to-do, and the old cow just goes moo.
I don't know if you can tell, but next to the bagpipes, I think the banjo is the most soothing sound in the world.
There you go. We should do a song with banjo and bagpipes, and it will be...
It's going to be legend. Wait for it. Dairy.
Yep.
I like it. Well, folks, let's get into our first story here in Animal Tales. While a lot of dogs act like they're humans, leaving the house is cause for alarm. 2 Minnesota dogs called 911 more than a dozen times when their parents left them home alone. After receiving a 911 call and only hearing barking in the background, officers from Minnesota's Lakeville Police Department visited the home of Remy and Bomber, a pair of partners in crime. See what they did there? Only to discover that no one was home. Officers rang the doorbell and walked around the home, but after no one responded, they began to leave. That's when they learned that there'd actually been 16 calls made to the emergency hotline from inside the home. They finally reached the homeowner, who told them how to access the residence through the garage. We went upstairs to his office to where the cell phone was. It was on the desk. It was on emergency call only, so in theory, a dog could have called 911 and pushed the phone with its paw, Officer Roberts told KMSP. Our assumption is the dogs were having a rough day, and it was the dogs that were seeking assistance through 911. Luckily, the pair were just fine. The phone had been set to emergency-only mode, meaning it only needed to be bumped to dial the emergency call line. Perhaps the pair were just trying to take a selfie. Lakeville police joked that they advised the perpetrators to proper 911 etiquette.
Honey!
Of course, it's quite possible. Remy and Bomber considered being home alone and out of biscuits a true emergency. So, maybe don't leave your cell phone at your... Why would you leave your house without your cell phone? 1, but 2, don't leave it in emergency mode if your dogs are going to bump it, and call 911.
Yeah, probably not the best idea to have. If they're an older couple, maybe they're just someone that doesn't like cell phones and they just leave it.
There you go.
That could happen, yeah.
All right, fair enough. Well, let's move on to our next story here in Animal Tales. A cowardly lion was snapped clinging desperately to a tree after raging buffaloes turned the tables on him. Photographer Olav Thokkel, 54 from Norway, snapped the moment a pride of lions bolted for their lives after bungling an attempt to hunt a herd of buffalo in Masai Mara, Kenya. Let's see. Around 5 lions, nicknamed the Black Rock Boys, had been following the herd of over 500 buffalo when 4 of them tried creeping closer in an attempt to spot and kill weaker members. However, those plans were dashed when some angry buffalo caught scent of the lions and charged towards them. In a desperate scramble, one of them fled to the nearest tree, climbed up, and hid there for hours. Hilarious pictures taken on the day showed the huge lion spilling over the tree branches of his brittle refuge. Olaf said, "Suddenly the buffaloes became aware of the lion's presence. The strongest buffaloes stormed toward the lions. 3 of them ran away quickly, but the 4th lion was surrounded by the raging buffalo and couldn't get away. He saw a lonely tree on the great savanna and climbed to safety from the big buffalo. He stayed in the tree for nearly an hour before the buffalo herd left the area." Olav has traveled across the world to picture wild animals, including Alaska, Svalbard, Finland, and other areas of Africa. Masai Mara is especially known for its large cats, such as lions, leopards, and cheetahs. So, and I'm going to post this on our Facebook page so you guys can see this poor lion just clinging onto the tree for its life from, some buffalo that it thought it was going to get a good meal from.
Olaf, metal! Play Berserker, Olaf. I pictured the Lion King, by the way, with the lion and the herd and all that.
Pretty close. And you, like I said, you can see for yourself.
That was no Mufasa right there, though.
No.
That was more Scar, if anything.
There you go. I like it. Well, let's move on with our next story here in Animal Tales. Here's one that I'm sure you've heard of because it's been making the rounds. His name's not Jonah, but this Cape Cod man sure has something in common with the biblical figure. Commercial lobster diver Michael Packard was going about his business off the coast of Provincetown, Massachusetts, when he was swallowed whole by a humpback whale, trapped in its gullet for nearly a minute before being coughed back up, according to a report. Packard 56 was about 35 feet below the surface near Herring Cove Beach at 8 a.m. Friday when the massive mammal tried to turn him into breakfast. All of a sudden, I felt this huge shove, and the next thing I knew, it was completely black, Packard told the outlet. I could sense I was moving, and I could feel the whale squeezing with the muscles in his mouth. Stunned, his first thought was that he'd been snapped up by a great white shark and was done for. Packard told the local CBS News affiliate that he thought to himself, "This is it. I'm going to die." I was completely inside the whale. It was completely black, Packard told the Cape Cod Times. I thought to myself, there's no way I'm getting out of here. I'm done. I'm dead. All I could think of was my boys. They're 12 and 15 years old. But when he realized he could feel no teeth, he began struggling and felt the whale shaking his head in discomfort. Within 40 seconds, the massive mammal spit him back out into the ocean. I saw light, and he started throwing his head side to side, and the next thing I knew, I was outside in the water, Packard said. My first thought was, I can't believe I got out of that situation. My second thought was for how injured I was, Packard said. His boating pal, Josiah Mayo, saw water spraying as the sea creature surfaced, and Packard was ejected. He plucked Packard out of the sea and rushed him to a hospital where he was treated for soft tissue damage to his leg. And so overall, he seems to be doing pretty good. Tony, I don't know if you've heard this story, but it's been making the rounds all over the news. And there's even people saying, I don't know if I necessarily believe this guy's whale of a tale. Pardon the
pun. That's pretty intense.
I like turtles.
You sure you didn't watch Pinocchio?
Right. Well, and apparently this guy also survived a plane crash back in 2006. And it's like, okay, are you like the unbreakable Bruce Willis, or, just wrong place at the wrong time? What's going on? Or
this guy's got some bad luck, but I'm sorry to get eaten by a whale, but then to come out of it alive. And wouldn't the whale have, if it ate him, wouldn't have taken him out to sea and stuff? And even if it did spit him out, he'd probably be spit out underwater, or maybe he'd be drifted. It's not like the whale is going to go swim back up to shore and go, go be with your boys. Yeah.
I don't know. If I was his friend, I'd bust out the cell phone camera and start, videoing it because, it's a little hard to believe. But
Did this dude also smoke the Magic Dragon before and just get like really like, "Hey, man, I was in a whale of a tail. Let me tell you, man. I was in the gut of his name was Rumbly. He was this whale. And like, man, I thought of my kids. It was rad, man."
Who knows?
But
in any case,
I don't buy it. But you know what I do buy?
I like turtles.
Yeah,
I like turtles too. All right, and then finally here in Animal Tales, we've got to add another creature to our zoo of terror.
Creatures!
Another insect is wreaking havoc in Maine in the midst of the cicadas invasion, a poisonous caterpillar. The brown-tail moth caterpillar has been seen in multiple counties in Maine and is an invasive species only found there in Cape Cod. The hairs of the moth contain poison and can cause a reaction similar to poison ivy, according to Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention. People are finding them every place, on the ground, on the picnic table, on the electric box, on the corner, you name it. Jim Britt, spokesperson for the Maine Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry, told the New York Times. Boy, it's getting harder to read here at the end of the segment. The moths can be identified by their 1.5-inch length, dark brown and white stripes, and 2 orange dots on their back. The hairs from the moth can go airborne, and when they come into contact with a person's skin, they can cause a rash that lasts several hours, or for those with sensitive skin, the rash can last several weeks.
Itchy.
If the hairs are inhaled, respiratory distress can be serious. And let's see, the Maine Center for Disease Control and Prevention declared the critter a public health nuisance, and the city of Bangor said they were formulating a plan to address the infestations popping up around the city and other locations. So, if you're in Massachusetts and you see a little furry caterpillar, don't pick it up, don't play with it because, it could cause some distress.
Yeah, that's not good, especially it's just a caterpillar. You think harmless. It's not something you would think too much poisonous. Yeah. Nah. Who are you?
Well, folks, that does it for Animal Tales. When we come back, we've got a segment called Up, Up, Down, Down, Cheat Codes for Life. Don't go anywhere.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's going to teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST, F, face drooping, A, arm weakness, S. Speech difficulty. T. Time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm going to do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix radio show. We are all over social media with many of you watching us as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, if you do want to enjoy us from the comfort of your own couch or on the go, download the ngbn.tv mobile app and smart TV app and just look for the Fenix Media channel there. You can get this great show and other great Fenix Media shows as well. Now, if you want to get a hold of me on social, I'm available at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony Spark. That's SPARK 81, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo. So in this segment, I wanted to talk about, cheat codes. Back in the day, you had the Konami code, which was up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start, which in that game in particular, for Contra, it would give you, 30 lives, and which you needed to get anywhere in that game because it was just a hard game. But apparently it worked for pretty much every Konami game. And, got thinking about what if we had cheat codes for life? What could you do in your life that was a cheat code that made your life a little bit easier? Before we get into these, Tony, anything come to mind for you? Something that, you swear by that's, maybe a little bit of a cheat, but at the same time, it helps make life that much better.
Not really, no.
Okay. Well, as we're going through, maybe something
maybe some will trigger, but off the top of my head, no, not really.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and get into cheat codes for life.
That was a good soundbite. I like that.
Little contra there for you. All right. This one from Pythonic Nonsense says 97.8% of all statistics are made up on the spot to win an argument. Try it. And I would say as long as you sound knowledgeable and confident, it might work. But, just know that Google, everybody has a computer in their pocket and they can Google any of those statistics at any point in time.
This is true. Not something I've personally used, but I can see that working.
Yep. Well, let's keep rolling on talking up, up, down, down, cheat codes for life. This from user deleted. I wonder if that's maybe a
deleted. Yeah, user deleted. Like they're banned.
And you might have a little insight into this one, Tony. They said if a product breaks long before it should have, but outside of the return policy, buy a new one and return the old one in the new one's packaging. The retailer will send it back to the manufacturer. It's slightly unethical. I don't abuse this, but I'm tired of buying products that seem to be designed to break.
I think it's a scummy thing to do. people try this at Costco. Luckily, we have Eagle Hawk return clerks for the most part that usually catch this. And then they're not afraid to say, well, this isn't exactly the same one. I mean, there's a reason why, like the serial numbers match the box. And then you typically get, oh, well, I got another one and I must have grabbed the wrong one. So, I'm not saying you couldn't pull it off because I'm sure you're going to find somebody that doesn't catch that. And, it is a quick way to be like, well, I don't want to buy another one of those. So you'll just go out and buy one, but return it. But it's actually the old one. Unethical for sure.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, and not to put you on the spot, Tone, but I know in a certain case where you've bought a video game from, say, Target, opened it, played it, it was cheaper at Costco, you picked it up there, and then went to return the one that you picked up to Target, and the barcodes were completely different.
They were completely different. Yep, I found that out. Usually with video games, everybody has the same ones, but that one did not flow so well. So I did try that. Yep.
That cheat code did not work for you.
Nope, it did not. So I sold that on eBay.
We are talking up, up, down, down, cheat codes for life. This from user Asa King said, at a burrito shop, think like Chipotle or Qdoba, get half of one protein and half of another. They usually end up giving you 20% or so more, and it's more flavorful. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, because I find that, you ask for like the steak, and they give you like one scoopful, and it never seems quite enough.
Right.
Put that meat on there.
Yeah, definitely. Load it up, man. More protein, more protein.
Exactly. Rolling on, cheat codes for life. Another one from Pythonic Nonsense. Apparently, if you're out in the wilderness and are cold and you have the munchies, this might work for you. It says, Fritos are very flammable and will burn very hot for quite some time. So, you need to start a fire. You need kindling. Fritos, of all things.
I'm going to try that at a campfire sometime.
I don't blame you.
I've never tried that.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
But it makes sense. They're kind of oily, so that does make sense. Yeah, they got a little bit of that oil to them.
Well worth a try, but that's what we're here for. We're giving you those cheat codes for life. Speaking of which, let's keep moving on with those. Kind of want to play Contra now. In any case, this from user Megador, and I don't know how many people...
Megador!
I don't know how many people can actually use this, but it says, I used to work news, and they gave us a large sign to put on our cars that read, on assignment. It allowed me to park anywhere I wanted without worrying about getting a ticket. I no longer work news, but I still have the sign, and I still park pretty much anywhere I want. So, I guess go work for a news outlet for a day, get the sign, quit, and then you can park where you need to.
Damn. It's kind of like the people that use their their mom's or grandma's handicap placard.
Yep.
Yep. There's a lot of people that do that.
Well, and the funny thing is, for me, I would be eligible to get a handicap placard because of my fibro. But the problem is I feel guilty if I go there and, I walk around, pretty much looking like nothing's wrong. I'm the complete opposite of that. Why take advantage of it? Let the people who really need it use it.
Right. It's the best way to do it. Yeah.
Yep.
The ex-mother-in-law, she used to use it all the time, and she was not. It was her mom's, and it was like,
just goes to show you what a gem of a person she was.
She was a super gem.
Let's keep rolling on. Up, up, down, down. Cheat codes for life. Here's one for you to try, Tone. User knows about math says, I had a professor in college who, while lecturing, suddenly let out a huge fart. Without pausing, he turned his head as if talking to someone behind him and said, Gesundheit, and continued lecturing as if nothing had happened. It immediately diffused any potential awkwardness and embarrassment. I vowed to use the same strategy if the same thing ever happened to me in front of a large crowd of people. There you go, Tone. Next time you're at work, you need to let one fly. Just Gesundheit.
I'll have to try that sometime.
Rolling on, cheat codes for life. Don't know how much of this I believe, and especially with a username like Biscuit Puncher.
Lip Biscuit!
Says if you have an erection, flex a muscle, any muscle, and keep it flexed. The erection will go away. That might have been good to know back in like
where was
school
that during junior high and high school? Yeah, when you had the book reports. Yeah, it was always at the most awkward times that it would pop up, and for no reason. Most times it was there's no explanation. You're not like, it's not like you're doing anything at school. It just, dude, it would just happen, and then it was always like, okay, it's time for the book report. You're like, oh. I don't want
back
to.
at that age, all it took was a stiff breeze, and
man, and it just
happened.
Yep, it just popped up, and you're like, ruh-roh.
Well, let's keep rolling on. Cheat codes for life. I don't know how much I care for this idea, but Sweet Poison 02 says, if you start crying, people will often be too startled to pry into your business or to scold you. So if somebody's having a serious conversation with you and you start busting out into tears just to try and avoid it, I don't know about that. Sack up a little bit and have that conversation.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that either. I did think about doing that once back when I was getting yelled at work just for fun, just to see what would happen. But I usually can't. I just like, how do I diffuse this? How do I get out of it? Okay, I'm done. Bye.
Exactly. Well, let's keep rolling on. Up, up, down, down. Cheat codes for life. This one from Glare Wolf doesn't sound like a cheat code, just sounds lazy. It says, sleep a few hours later so you don't have to pay for lunch. Okay.
That sounds dumb.
Yeah. Yeah, it's lazy. And lunch is relative. You don't have to.
Yeah, there's no one putting a gun to your head to eat lunch. Like, no one says you have to eat lunch at this time or you need to eat. Like, it's totally it's your choice. Eat when you want to eat.
Yeah.
Unless you're a kid, then you're on your parents' schedule. But when you're an adult, you just eat when you eat.
Yeah. Sounds like they just wanted to get on the list. Oh, well. And then finally, speaking of the list, here on Up, Up, Down, Down, Cheat Codes for Life. This one might be worth a try from user Tender Branson 301 says, no one stops a guy or girl carrying a pizza. It can get you backstage at concerts. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Nice.
Folks, that does it for this segment. When we come back, we're heading into the final segment of the show. It's time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix radio show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks, to the final segment of this episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or you want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, it's easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix radio show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
Are you crazy? Are you out of your mind?
I'll take that as a no.
Yeah, that one was no distinguished yes or no. It was just you're running out of time, find a funny sound button and roll with it.
There you go. Well, while you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends, because why, Tony?
Sharing is caring. Like us, subscribe to us, share us on your Facebook page, your Twitter, your Insta, wherever, and just get the word out there.
Love it. Well, folks, it is the last segment of the day. And as we do each and every day, we like to drop a little knowledge on you, hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Traversing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
All right. Kicking off this day in 1215, King John signs the Magna Carta at Runnymede near Windsor, England. And of course, the Magna Carta was the basis for our own Constitution. And they even made a song about King John in the animated Robin Hood, right?
I think they did, yeah. King John signs the Magna Carta at the Runnymede.
Moving on, this day in 1219, Dannebrog is the flag of Denmark and the oldest national flag in the world. According to legend, it fell from the sky during the Battle of Lindenice, now Tallinn, in Estonia, and turned the Danes' luck. So Dannebrog.
There they go for a Volbeat. And that was fitting for yesterday was National Flag Day. So there you go.
Was it really?
It was.
See, I didn't know because we didn't do a new show yesterday. So.
Flag Day.
Moving on, this day in 1802, Toussaint Louverture leaves Haiti prisoner of the French ship Héros.
That's Don Cheadle before he was Don Cheadle.
Dude, it totally looks like Don Cheadle.
It really does.
Moving on, this day in 1842, John C. Fremont sets off from Kansas River on his first expedition of the Oregon Trail with frontierman Kit Carson as his guide. Not only is there a nice little tie to our hometown of Carson City in Nevada, but hopefully he didn't get dysentery, get bit by a snake, or spend his whole time just hunting bears and antelope like we did on the Oregon Trail. Albeit the video game version.
Yes, absolutely. They died of the plague. And John C. Fremont was the first school in Carson that was year-round.
No kidding. Interesting.
Mhm.
Well, it obviously makes sense. This day in 1844, Charles Goodyear patents the vulcanization of rubber. And obviously that leads to
Rubber.
tires, not condoms, but I'm sure the
Goodyear,
process
Goodyear
works the same.
tires, yeah.
Could you imagine Goodyear condoms?
They never go out of style.
Moving on, this day in 1864, Robert E. Lee's home in Arlington, Virginia becomes a military cemetery. Ooh, that would suck to come back to your house and find out it's just a bunch of graves everywhere.
Yeah, welcome home. Well, I hope you don't mind. We did start the graveyard here. Is that cool? No, it's too late. We already did, but is that cool?
Let's keep moving on. This day in 1878, the world's first moving pictures caught on camera used 12 cameras, each taking one picture, done to see if all 4 of a horse's hooves leave the ground. Of course, that would equate to 12 frames per second, which by today's standards of 60 frames per second seems a little choppy.
Yeah, a little choppy, but man, it was the start of it all there. The horse in motion.
Yeah. And like we always say, we wouldn't be doing this right here, obviously, with the video aspect, if it wasn't for these people who were breaking ground back over 100 years ago.
Yeah, crazy that they were doing stuff like that.
So glad they did. Moving on, this day in 1907, researcher George Soper publishes the results of his investigation into recent typhoid outbreaks in the New York area and announces that Mary Malone, also known as Typhoid Mary, is the likely source of the outbreak. Could you imagine if she wasn't and her name's just dragged through the mud for centuries?
Yeah, she's like, it wasn't me, it was my husband Barry. Call him Typhoid Barry.
Moving on, this day in 1924, the Ford Motor Company manufactures its 10 millionth automobile, assumably with issues just as along the lines of any other Ford that's out there today. Right, Tone?
That's right, man. The 10th millionth one. This is my 1910 Model T Ford. I'll take it on a road trip. No biggie. I'll put the buggy down. It'll be a fun ride.
I wonder if it had undercarriage
issues
that was falling off as well.
Nah, it doesn't look like it had any issues with that. Looked like a crank wheel on the front of that thing.
Moving on, same day in 1924, J. Edgar Hoover assumes leadership of the FBI. Was wondering if he was wearing a dress when he got the news.
Nah. He sure wasn't in that picture. He looks all sharp-dressed and angry.
Yeah. You just don't, some people are very unassuming.
Yeah.
Just like him. All right. Moving on, this day in 1951, Joe Louis scored his last knockout victory. I wonder if he lost a bunch of matches after that before he retired or if he went out on top.
Joe Louis just knocked out somebody so famous that we can't even say their name. Down goes whoever that was. Still champion Joe Louis.
Yeah, it would be nice if they put who the person he defeated.
Who'd he beat?
Right?
Yeah, he beat No Name. He just scored his last knockout victory. Was it his only knockout victory? I don't know.
Don't know. So we'll move on. This day in 1963, Richard Rodgers and Oscar Hammerstein II's musical The Sound of Music closes at the Lunt-Fontanne Theater, New York City, after 1,443 performances. It's too bad it just died there. Nobody ever heard about The Sound of Music after that.
Right. I've never heard of it. There's the sound of music.
Speaking of the sound of, terrible music, this day in 1965, Bob Dylan records the single Like a Rolling Stone, #1 in Rolling Stone magazine's 500 greatest songs of all time. Well,
it was named after their magazine. Whether the magazine was named after that or the band.
Right, yeah. Don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg, but I guarantee you that song was not a great song. I take it back. It was a great song. The singing was terrible because it was
like a Rolling Stone.
Like a Rolling Stone. All right, moving on.
You do a good Bob Dylan.
This day in 1967, The Dirty Dozen, based on E.M. Nathanson's novel, directed by Robert Aldrich, and starring Lee Marvin, Ernest Borgnine, and Charles Bronson, is released in the U.S. And great movie back in the 60s. Well worth a watch if you ever have a little bit of time.
Is it bad? The only thing I really remember Ernest Borgnine in is basketball. Choking on the hot dog.
Maybe.
Yeah, kind of bad.
This day in 1973, Let's Get It On, single released by Marvin Gaye. It is the Billboard R&B Song of the Year in 1973, number 4 overall, and another fantastic song.
Yeah, it's about boxing, like, let's get it on. We're going to fight.
Let's get it on.
Yeah, I'm going to knock you out with my left and right hooks. It's really not about boxing. It's about other stuff. It's about baby making.
Yep. Oh, this one's definitely not about baby making. This day in 1986, Pravda announces high-level Chernobyl staff fired for stupidity. Oh, could you imagine having that on your record? You were fired for stupidity.
You're not allowed to be here anymore because you're fired because you're stupid. That's probably good for them, just because getting out of the Chernobyl disaster. Or was that they were fired after the disaster?
I think this was before, actually.
Yeah, well, it's probably good. Their lives were changed forever, so good for them to get fired for being stupid.
Moving on, this day in 1990, Dick Tracy with Warren Beatty and Madonna premieres, and it was the first appearance of the Apple iWatch.
It was, yes. That was actually a pretty good movie for the time. I don't know how it holds up today, but back then, it was pretty dang good.
I enjoyed it. Yeah, I'd like to go back and check it out. And then
I bet it doesn't hold up.
I was going to do one more, but time is just running out. So let's go ahead and get into today's holidays.
Holiday. Hey,
where
speaking
we talk
of Dick
about
Tracy,
the things that we celebrate. For instance, today is Fly a Kite Day, Tone. So
I don't have time, but if I did, I'd go fly a kite.
Go fly a kite. Oh, you know what today is, Tone? It is National Kiss a Wookiee Day.
Ooh, if I just grow out my beard a little more, girls, you can kiss a Wookiee.
It is Global Wind Day.
Okay, well, hence why you want to fly a kite. If it's Global Wind Day, it goes hand in hand. Yeah.
It is Justice for Janitors Day. I don't know what some justice they need, but okay.
All right, you need justice. Quit cleaning the shit off the toilet seats. Justice for you.
For obvious reasons, it is Magna Carta Day. That's when it was signed.
We covered. Yep.
It is National Lobster Day, the most difficult food item to eat.
Yep, rock lobster.
National Cherry Tart Day, an easy food item to eat.
Yep, eat a Pop-Tart today, yep.
It is National Electricity Day. It is World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. Oh, that's sad.
Be aware, you're in my world now, Grandma.
It is National Smile Power Day, National Photography Day, Native American Citizenship Day, and Worldwide Day of Giving. So go ahead and give back, share, do what you need to. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow on a Wednesday with Words Are Hard. Have a good Tuesday, everybody.
Peace!